I'm Mon.
And I'm Nicole, and we are event planners at Feel Good Events. And today we're going to talk to you about how we made one space into 4 different themes.
So the different themes that we created were a pink and silver disco, burlesque, fiesta, and a black and gold theme. So for all 4 events, we had the flooring, we had the drape around the sides, we had the center pole, and we had a bar and a photo backdrop.
The center pole was a necessity because the center pole was the base foundation for our roof drape. So that element had to stay the same in all themes because of the roof drape. The roof drape and the walls, they changed colors for each event. We kind of used inspiration from the theme to then create a backdrop which we thought was suitable. For the black and gold theme, our center pole was full of gold foliage. We used elements of that to then create the backdrop. So we hung some foliage and some mirror balls because that was what was happening in the theme. And you can kind of compare that to the burlesque theme, how it was black and red. So we based that off a black sequin wall, and then there was draping a little bit on the mannequins, so we used the red drape to drape over the black sequins. And then for this one, we actually popped in our red love seat just to create that little bit more luxe feel.
So then the same for our Fiesta one, so there was a lot of wood textures and aspects of the whole event.
Yeah.
So then that's where we brought in the rustic wall instead of the sequin wall, and then from there that's when we added the sombrero hat. So touching base on lighting, we used for the uplighting the exact same lighting for all 4 events. We just obviously changed the colour depending on what the theme was. So for the black and gold, the uplighting was gold, and for the Fiesta it was just all different colours just to match the drape. When we go into the ceiling lighting, that's when we decided to change it up a little bit. So for the black and gold, we decided on some fairy lights because it was really elegant and we wanted it to be a little bit more dainty rather than having festoons which were used for the Fiesta and the Moulin Rouge theme.
We did also have 4 moving heads, basically on like a pillar in the corner of the room, and they create that moving light. When people walk in, they'll feel wow, they'll feel a little bit more immersed and included in the space because things are moving around a little bit, it's not just static. So in the pink and silver disco theme, we also did add a smoke machine and some haze. The particles that the smoke and the haze create will then get picked up by the moving heads. And then that way you can see the beams going through the space, and it does create that little bit more party vibe. So if you're wanting to get that look that you see sometimes at a bar or a nightclub where you've got the beams going across the room, it's really important to have smoke and haze because otherwise you won't see the beams at all because there's nothing for the lights to actually pick up in the air.
This could be used for any event. It doesn't just have to be like a pink and disco theme, for example.
Exactly.
Any lighting that you have, especially, you know, a lot of the DJ lighting that you see will need smoke to then, like Nicole said, to create those beams.
Yeah.
The lighting does make these themes, like it makes or breaks an event. A lot of the images and videography that you see, you get that feeling inside because of what the lighting is doing. So we started off with an empty warehouse and we ended up with 4 amazing new themes. And with the right equipment, you could definitely do this too.